Good afternoon, everyone. It's great pleasure to be here in the first AI session in OIS. So as we saw these talks in the morning with these therapies that are very exciting, they're going a long way in making a lot of vision loss preventable. But we are still seeing a day where a number of patients are not presenting themselves, and that's where I believe AI will come in the picture in finding these patients and getting it to you guys at the right time. So Eyenuk is headquartered in Los Angeles. We have founded back in 2010 when no one was talking about AI, and our focus is on using retinal images, especially imaging technology that's very, very accessible, with fundus imaging being a prime example. As we can see, a number of, so we are focused on disease detection, preventative biomarkers using longitudinal analysis, and a number of diseases can be detected and monitored through AI. Our first focus is on diabetic retinopathy. It's unfortunately so many people have diabetes. They are losing vision without any symptoms, and it's preventable with anti-VEGF treatments and many others that are upcoming. So the platform works for screening, monitoring, and risk prediction of chronic disease complications with a simple fundus images through a robotic or a semi-robotic fundus camera. Within seconds, an actionable report is available with instantaneous results and with accuracy that is equal to or better than standard of care today. And we could not only look at vision-threatening conditions like diabetic retinopathy, AMD, or glaucoma, but also chronic conditions like Alzheimer's disease or cardiovascular risk. And we already have ongoing programs on Alzheimer's disease detection in collaboration with Mayo Clinic. So as we take a step back, this is the first session, right? So it'll be great to see or hear my thoughts on how AI can help healthcare providers, and I'll give you my take on it. So first is this spell check AI. So AI works in the background and it checks for errors as you do your work. So you're doing your work regularly, and like a spell check or like a lane keeping assist in your car, it's working in the background, flagging errors. The second is autonomous AI. It automates your routine work and lets you scale. So it works on its own and takes away the boring grunt work and let technicians do that work, for example. The third is superpower AI. This is where AI will let you do things that are very challenging or very cumbersome today, like get you a flying suit and let you fly. But how does it translate to actual practice? So that is how, our offerings, Eyenuk's offerings, where the first one is called iScreen, which is a human plus AI diagnostic service. So it's for existing eye screening programs where AI can flag any errors and flag them for adjudication by an expert. IART is our flagship product, which is autonomous AI that allows primary care or point of care locations to conduct disease detection and monitoring. The third is iMark, which is our superpower AI that conducts detailed lesion analysis and longitudinal changes and converts them into effective biomarkers that correlate with the progression of these diseases. And these are also pretty interesting in terms of the regulatory and reimbursement landscape, where iScreen fits in the current regulatory as well as reimbursement landscape because it just works in the background. IART presents the most challenge because of it being autonomous AI, where FDA requires prospective trials. And iMark is for specialists. So again, it doesn't need formal regulatory or formal reimbursement. It would still need regulatory approvals. Now, one more AI framework, which is called assistive AI, which is not something we believe in, where it's like self-driving car, but where you still have to pay attention and put your hands on the steering wheel. Uh, and so that's how we are opinionated about these. Now, diabetic retinopathy is approved for under iScreen and iArt. It's available under iArt. And our iMark product for diabetic retinopathy is coming next year. We are also working on other indications that include AMD, glaucoma, and other disease conditions, and bringing them to the market over the years. So our first product is the iArt AI system for autonomous detection of diabetic retinopathy. It has received FDA clearance last year after it went through a prospective multi-center clinical trial. It works in a very simple way. A patient comes in at a point of care location, like a primary care or a optical retail or other locations. They could get imaged. FDA has approved us or cleared us for a technician with just a high school diploma to conduct this test, and the actionable report is available with positive or negative within 30 seconds. And that allows non-specialists to screen for DR so that we can send those patients who are not today not being receiving treatment, or they are not presenting to you on time. So as we again look at AI AI is super hot these days, right? So as we look at these different applications, AI in radiology, AI in pathology, our analysis, we believe that AI in ophthalmology is most further ahead. And why? For one, degree of automation, where IART is approved as an autonomous AI, and no other field has this kind of approval. The performance of AI versus standard of care is also very, very impressive. It even has payer acceptance, as in a new CPT code is available. The validation is extensive, and speaking of validation, IART, I believe, is the most validated AI technology amongst all healthcare applications. It's not just amongst ophthalmology applications, but amongst all applications. And that's because of what you see in this slide with a prospective multi-center clinical trial where we enrolled 942 patients at 15 US centers, where we compared a two-field undilated imaging per eye conducted by novice operators. We compared that to ETDRS imaging, where professional photographers, after dilation, took 10 images per eye, and they were read by multiple graders at Wisconsin Fundus Photograph Reading Center. And against that stringent reference standard, we still achieved 96% sensitivity and 88% specificity. Equally important is that for 90% of patients, we could detect, we could get imaging done without needing any dilation. Well, it says wrap up now, so I'll just quickly try and wrap up. So the milestones that we achieved, one more thing that was important in previous slide is that IART went through large studies that included a largest prospective AI in healthcare study with 30,000 patients. It also went through a retrospective study with over 100,000 patients with excellent results. We have regulatory approvals globally, including US, Canada, and Europe. We have solid implementation infrastructure. We have CPT code, a category 1 CPT code. So industry has done a great job with acceptance from national bodies and quality bodies, and getting reimbursement with CMS paying for this. And that leads to solid adoption. I'm very excited to tell you that the adoption, the number of testing locations in the US is growing. So it's not, AI is not just the future of healthcare. Here we are seeing it is making an impact today. And that's also true globally. Thank you.